I was just stretching or I was just strengthening. And my progress was like minuscule. But then when I put them all together, it was like, oh, my progress just really skyrocketed. So that is what works best in this combination approach. And then when we talk about treatment, one of the biggest things that I'm going to reiterate over and over again in this presentation is that your body is connected. Okay? You're going to have physical problems connected to your mental health stuff. Okay? When I was injured with my shoulder, I noticed that my pain got a lot worse when I was like freaking out and stressing out about it. Because your mental health and your physical health are connected. Also, other parts of your body are connected. So like I didn't know that my pain in my fingers was related to like weakness and tightness in my elbow and shoulder. But your body is connected. That's probably the biggest thing to remember from this whole presentation. Also, when you're experiencing pain or when you're rehabbing from an injury, please know that you didn't ask to get injured. This was due to more of your ignorance and not knowing what to do if you have pain than anything else. So it's really, really important to have self-compassion and to seek support from your peers, from your teachers, from your medical professionals. When you have pain, do you tell other people about it? No? Yeah? Okay. Depends, yeah. How many of your friends from like Symphony have also had pain? Have you talked about that?
Not a ton. I have a friend who's a trombone player,
Yeah.
and sometimes his wrist gets all,
Yeah.
he's like, I just can't play anymore.
Yeah. It's really important to talk about this stuff. People get scared. People get scared to talk about this because they feel like it makes them a worse musician. But one of the most important things to recover is to know that you're not alone. And then another really important factor in recovery is to make sure that if you're starting to experience that sharp burning, tingling, numbness types of pain, that is when you see a doctor, okay? If your muscles are tired, that's fine. But if you're experiencing like chronic pain or sharp pain or your hand goes numb for a while, that's probably a good time to get things checked out. Remember, the body is connected. Okay. So now what do? I've talked about how this is a pretty prevalent problem for people and the different types of injuries and how we treat them and different stuff. You're like, okay, well, I have pain, Vivian, but I probably don't, maybe you have tendonitis, I don't know. But you probably don't have a full-blown shoulder problem like I did. But you're wondering, okay, well, what do I do to protect my health now? There's a ton you can do, actually. Who here keeps a practice journal? Sometimes, okay. I didn't either, so, you're in good company, I guess. I would recommend keeping a practice journal. It's something I started doing in college. And a really good thing to write down when you practice is your physical symptoms, how you're feeling in your body when you play. That can really help you track how you're feeling day to day and help you catch problems early. And if you're seeing, oh, I hurt like more times than not, that's probably a good time to see a doctor. And then educating yourself on your health is actually going to make you a way better musician. I was able, even with the 5 minutes of practicing a day, to prepare a full senior recital after my injury. I could not have done that without sitting down and educating myself, not only about the pieces that I was playing, but about how my body worked, about what my body needed from me day to day, that type of thing. Okay, as far as more specific things to do for your health, first of all, I would really remember this quote. If you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. That's kind of scary, isn't it? But it's true. It's true. Your body is your first instrument, and unlike your other instruments that you play, you only get one of this. Okay? So take good care of it. Strength training is really, really, really good for you, but you don't have to sign up for track or, God forbid, cross country to take care of your health and be healthy. Do you guys play sports?
Yeah, I'm homeschooled, so I don't have many opportunities.
That's okay. What do you play?
I'm a thrower in track, so I throw
nice.
those big shot puts.
I know. Does anyone in cross country? I couldn't do it. Okay. How about you? What do you guys play?
I don't play sports.
Oh, you don't play sports? Did you play sports?
So I'm not playing any like competitive sports in
Right.
school right now because of COVID and everything,
Yeah.
but I am doing martial arts and like I feel that helps me because that's like strengthening and like control.
That is so good. Yeah, that is exactly right. Honestly, with exercise, you don't have to play a competitive sport. You just have to find something you like and do it until you die. That's it, okay? I didn't think I was a sporty person, and so I'm like, well, I can't be physically fit and healthy, so, I might as well not even try. And then I found Pilates and hiking, and I realized, oh, these are actually like good things to do day to day. So now I do those, and my health is better.
Hiking is very fun.
Yeah, it is very fun. Okay, and then educating yourself about these things. So I gave you guys a handout. That is just like the start for educating yourself about your first instrument here. I would say it's a really valuable use of some of your practice time. If you're like hitting a wall with a technique, has that happened to you guys before?
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
Thursday I had to do a recording for a virtual college audition. I
we love
like
those.
yeah, I got like 2 good takes of this
Yeah.
one song.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm gonna get maybe one more.
Mhm.
And I just like couldn't play past the first like measure and a half.
Yeah.
It just like hit a wall and I
Right.
couldn't finger it
Your
properly.
fingers wouldn't obey you.
Mhm.
Your brain was out of whack.
Yeah.
That's a really good opportunity to say, okay, nope, I can't play my clarinet anymore. I'm gonna go sit down and figure out how to come at this from a different way, or I'm gonna figure out how, what my fingers actually look like from an anatomical, there we go, anatomical point of view, that type of thing. Okay, so that's actually a really good point to bring up. Finding practice alternatives. When you guys practice, what do you guys do? Do you just play like your instrument, or like, what do you guys do to practice? What are some tools in your toolbox?
I primarily play my instrument.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do more like less practicing is just playing like maybe listening to different recordings of the piece I'm playing or just like running through it mentally in my head.
Yeah.
Mental practice, it works.
Mental practice. That's actually one of our.
teacher makes me do that. It's
Yeah?
actually really hard. It's like you have to like read it and like have that like sense of which finger it goes in without actually moving your finger.
Yes.
And it's like 2 measures, but it actually works though.
It
My
totally
private teacher
does.
took up like 20 minutes of my private lesson to make me memorize this like one measure. And then she was like, you can't touch your instrument. I'm just like,
How do you do it?
yeah, but then afterwards it's like I played it really well, that one measure after mental. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't like it
Yeah,
because
no.
it feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I like to find like a short little fairly easy etude and try to learn it all mentally and see if I can play it from start to finish.
That's really good. Do you guys know how to mentally practice?
Yeah.
Do all of you know how? Okay, you guys are ahead of the curve. Keep doing that. Is excellent.
Winning.
One of our activities it was actually mentally practicing because many people don't actually know that this is a thing and that this works. Visually, like visualizing, playing your instrument, and seeing how detailed you can make that visualization fires the same neurons as playing your instrument physically. And it's even more effective when combined with actual physical practice. You're more effective when you use both techniques than just one. Isn't that insane? So that's really cool. Anyway.
It's like your mind and your body are connected.
Right. Exactly. Awesome. So yeah, finding a combination approach both to practicing and to taking care of yourself. At the end of the game, you're going to be set up well to do that. And then being curious. Collecting thoughts. When I started learning about all of this stuff, at first I felt really stuck with my pain and like the different issues I was experiencing in playing, and I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But once I started like giving myself the space to be curious about it, it was really fascinating. I got to learn about all of this stuff. I did a performing arts health minor in school, and so I voluntarily sat through anatomy, which was fun, but it was actually really interesting to learn about like, oh, this is how your body works, and this is how like, oh, this is what it actually takes to like move my fingers with a violin. Like it was fascinating. Guess what? My playing improved drastically. I am not a doctor. Please see a doctor if you're hurt. Okay. The body is connected. Okay, that's probably, you're gonna go home and say, Mom, I learned 2 things from Vivian's presentation today. Okay, so we didn't talk a ton about mental health today. We're going to talk a little bit about it now. And I also realized when we talked about injuries before, I just listed off physical, and I didn't talk about the mental stuff either. So we're going to do that a little bit now. Mental health things include, like, for music specific, I mean, there's the very classic performance anxiety. There's also burnout, which is pretty common. Do you guys know what that is?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And then there's, like, I mean, obviously having pre-existing, like, mental health conditions can really impact your musical playing and endeavors and stuff. And then physical and mental injuries. There's this one really interesting injury called focal dystonia. Do you guys know what that is?
Nope.
No? It is an overuse injury of the brain. It's insane. So, like, it means that your body learned this one pattern and kind of overlearned it, and then it kind of, the circuit that your neurons went through kind of shorted out, and suddenly you can't do that thing anymore. So, like, for example, a violinist with focal dystonia might have a bow hold that's like, they can't remember how to do their bow hold anymore because they, like, spent way too much time and, like, they were really obsessive about it. And actually, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but a big aggravating factor for focal dystonia is perfectionism and comparison. That is going to not be good for you. So, I'm a massive perfectionist. Many musicians are massive perfectionists. If you can be aware of that tendency, if you have that, it is going to set you up well if you're working on that early on. So, okay. Any questions about all that? No.
Wait, so like that thing, so like is there like how much time you spend